How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Chuusotsu. I said that way too fast. Chuusotsu. There we go again. Oh gosh, I need to settle down. And welcome back to the very interesting apartment complex we're staying at. So predictably, we met up with the White Rabbit. Whoever, oh shoot, what's her name? I can't remember her name. I know I'll recognize it when I see it, but it's been a while. Give me back off. I'm sorry. I remember Arue. Arara. That was an interesting, a very memorable name. But yeah, so we come into the apartment. We find the White Rabbit there. She's fine. Apparently the guy she was talking to was actually trying to be kind of nice. Like, he might have been a little pushy, but he was a decent fellow, apparently. Then we came in here, and we're talking to Hollow, which, if I remember correctly, I think it was a very casual mention, but apparently this technology is linked to America somehow. Not that America means much. It's, oh, or maybe they describe this caricature, Hollow, as being American because she's blonde-haired and stuff. Which is interesting, because, like, it's not just American, but whatever. We'll move past that. I don't know why. I had this distinct feeling it said American somewhere. And I was like, huh, that's weird. Oh, it also might have been because, like, the lettering's on English. That might be a big part of why they're saying it's American. Anyway, so she's here, but she said she's supposed to wait for someone else to do all her explaining, and that's why I stopped the last episode, because it sounds like we're going to need a lot of exposition, so I thought, oh, let's not tack that on to another hour, an hour-long episode already, so, yeah, here we are. We're going to figure out a bit more about this very suspicious program. Like, it already seemed a little odd at first, but the more I keep learning about it, the more I'm like, alright, well, where's the catch? Because there's something going on here, and it's very strange. But, you know, kind of makes sense. We've got these kind of fringe type people. Maybe they're going to do some kind of study on them, or maybe they're trying to reevaluate something. I'm hoping it's something kind of benign, like they're trying to reevaluate or restructure their, you know, their whole system of testing. But who on earth knows? Anyway, I guess there's not much else to say other than, let's just kind of, I'm sure we'll meet the third girl, which I'm sure is going to be the psycho girl, which is going to be hilarious. And let's just roll right into it, I suppose. So, guess I don't think there's anything else. Oh, what am I saying? I almost forgot. I don't know if you weren't aware, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I've got a survey up right now. I'm going to be updating the channel art, so I'm going to spend some of my own money. This channel doesn't make money, FYI. It's just a hobby. But I've saved up a little money. I want to pay for someone to do some channel art. And I've got some ideas. I'm actually, at this point, I'm starting to finalize the way I'm starting to think, because I'm seeing how things are kind of going, but this is still a good chance for you to share what your thoughts. I'm probably going to post one last video and keep the survey up for another week, so I'm not finalized on any details yet. And that's the big thing. It's like the reason why I'm doing a survey is because, well, this channel, it's ours, not just mine. I kind of at the keel, like, you know, I'm behind the direction of the channel per se, but I mean, you guys are as much a part of it as I am, honestly. And when I was having some hemming and hawing about certain things I wanted to do with the channel, I decided I wanted to do something a little different. But I had some good ideas, and I wanted to pitch them to you and see which ones kind of resonated more. So if you quickly just look in the description, it's the first thing in the description. It's a quick survey, probably take you 30 seconds. If you just take it real fast, I'd appreciate it. And especially if you or somebody you know is an artist who can do really good jobs, especially in anime style, manga style. It doesn't even have to be, but like at least cartoony style. If you know someone who can do that and would be interested in, like, say, being commissioned, I'd love you to leave a link in the survey. It's safer putting it in the survey than in the comments, obviously, but you could do that too. That way I have a way just to reach out and, like, check your portfolio. I'd love to hire somebody who's already part of the community or associated with the community, just because I want to support you as much as you support me. But, you know, it all depends on what I can find. And so if you just know somebody, please put it in the survey. There's a spot for you to put it in. If you don't know anybody, that's fine. Just, like, leave it blank. Yeah, so quick, hit that link in the description below. It should be like one of the first things there, and you can just go take that survey real quick. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Anyway, now let's get to the game. Alright, Hollow, what do you guys say? We're going over a lot of stuff, you guys. Hope you're ready to take some notes. Oh, right. I imagine we're going to be using lots of the tips section, aren't we? Alright, soul dispenser. Yeah, like, is that what you're talking about here? And which soul are we talking about?
Soul dispenser.
It sounds ominous. Right. She pointed towards the ATM looking machine.
当社新製品ってやつですよね。何の機械なんですか？
それを今から説明するっす。ってわけで、ソウルディスペンサーの機能その
I can't handle the suspense, guys.
1。なんと貯金がなくてもお金が引き出せちゃう。
Okay, first thing, that sounds awesome. Second thing, what's the catch? There's no such thing as free money.
嘘だ。
That's pretty cool, though. Wait, but how much can we pull?
ほんとっすよ。まあ通貨はマニーじゃないっすけど。
Alright. The United People's Federation of Earth have consolidated all the world's currencies into a unit called money. How original.
マニーじゃないお金は違法なんだよ。
そうっすね。ドルだとか円だとか元だとか P3 法施行前の通貨は持っているだけでお縄になるので要注
Okay,
意っす。
so it produces currency, but illegal currency. Well, that's useful.
でもこのソウルディスペンサーから引き出せるお金はお金であってお金じゃないからセーフっす。
Okay. So, how?
お金であってお金じゃない？
Yeah.
もしかして偽札とか？
Oh my gosh, that could be it.
ブブー、ハズレっす。というかコロは犯罪には決
Well, then
して関与し
explain
ないっすから。
yourself. You're not making any sense.
ソウルポイント、それがここから引き出せるお金っす。
Soul points. Okay, we're starting to creep towards the creepy stuff.
ポイントってよくわかりませんけど、そんなものがお金の代わりになるんですか？
Maybe you can transform it into money, like you earn soul points and you can cash them out.
はいっす。キャッシュディスペンサーから現生が引き出せるようにソウルディスペンサーからはマニーと同じ貨幣価値を持ったカードが発行されるっす。
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
クレジットカードみたいなもんすかね。
So you can use it as if like you would use for money, but it charges soul points. That makes me think that the value of soul points can fluctuate. That could be interesting.
もしかして生活費を会社が負担してくれるっていうのは？
Koiro. That's right. I was saying it wrong the first time I said it. Koiro.
そう、ソウルポイントのことっす。もちろん無尽蔵じゃないっすけど。
Be careful.
でもそんな得体の知れないポイント聞いたことないですよ。本当にお店で使えるんですか？罪に問われて中卒からプリズナーにジョブチェンジするのは嫌ですよ。
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big downgrade. I wonder if prisoners like have like markings and maybe they're stronger than a Chuusotsu. That'd be really weird, but it's possible. It's kind of funny. So far, what this is kind of reminding me of is like I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it ever got translated into English, and it's actually been a while, so I haven't watched it. But it was an anime that came out I think last year, probably around winter time too. It's about like super elite high school that like only the rich and the most like politically savvy and the smartest can go to. But in the school they reward you, so like you go every month, your class as a whole gets ratings based on their test scores and like their effectiveness and just almost like Hogwarts points in a way, except the points don't they have a different system like where you lose points over time too, and like so it has different scales, but the points translate into amount of credits, which is effectively money that you can use on this little island, because like the whole high school is kind of isolated in this campus, and in the campus you can use your points to get pretty much whatever you could possibly want. However, the point system is super rigged against anybody or any class that isn't performing high, and it puts classes against each other because it's ranked. So it doesn't even matter if your class is phenomenal. If you're the bottom ranked of all the classes, you get nothing. And like there's like free stuff, like you can get some basic free food and everything, but it's like it's nasty and just almost garbage. And it's supposed to motivate them to like work and become better and climb the ladder and everything, but it's brutal. And it reminds me of it kind of reminds me of this so far, because it's like, oh yeah, you get this money and you can just use it whenever you want, and then when the first month ticked around and suddenly the class was getting nothing, and they're like, oh, I hope you didn't spend all your money because you don't get any more unless you guys perform well. Yeah, so I'm guessing soul, and in fact it's using soul That's worrying me. Are we going to have to sacrifice our humanity for this stuff?
試してみればわかるっすよ。120ポイントだけ特別に発行するので、自販機で試してくださいっす。
Okay.
あるね。私が行ってくるね。
120 points. What is that even going to translate into, though? She picked up the 120 point card and came back after buying a cola.
本当に使えた。
Okay, so she went out to the hall and went to a vending machine.
当たり前っす。ロボット三原則を知らないんすか？ロボットは人間に危害を加えられないんすよ。
Now, they're the Asimov 3 laws. It's a robot may not injure or their actions cannot lead to the injury of a human. The second law is that a robot must preserve human life. No, it's like a robot cannot. A robot cannot harm a human. A robot cannot harm itself unless it validates the first law, and a robot must accept all commands given by humans as long as it doesn't violate the first 2 laws. I think that's what Asimov's 3 laws are. And it's supposed to be like this perfect loop of logic where, like, they can't hurt humans, they just can't, and then or do something that leads to the death of a human or injury of a human. Then the second step is that they cannot follow directions that will harm themselves unless it validates the first law, which means like if they preserve themselves at the expense of a human, that's not allowed. And then the third law, of course, being that they must listen to a human as long as it doesn't require them to hurt themselves or other humans. And that's a pretty interesting system. But then you get to read iRobot, and it talks about all the flaws to that system too.
じゃあ次早にソウルディスペンサーの機能その2。
I apologize, I'm rambling this episode. But hey, you know, what else are you gonna come here for? Just watching a visual novel? You better not be just doing that. Alright, moving right along.
ここからが本題なので、よく聞いてくださいっす。
Right.
お嬢様方。ソウルディスペンサーには、人の魂。言い換えると、心を検知する素晴らしい機能が備わってるっす。
I'm guessing it's not meaning your heart rate.
お嬢様方には、その心を検知するシステム、ソウルリンクシステムを使って、ある課題をクリアしてもらうことになるっす。
Okay, how do you quantify being a good person?
課題って。
哲学っす。
Philosophy.
哲学？
はいっす。これから出す命題について、お嬢様方、ルームメイツ全員の心を合わせて哲学をしてほしいっす。
If that's all they want, like, if the answer isn't really what's important but the discussion, that's not too bad. But why is it so valuable to them? I'm so suspicious. I'm a realist, okay? That's the problem. It's just the why.
何のために？
それは、あれっす。なんか、より良い社会にしていく的な？っていうか、明るい未来は若者たちの手にかかってる的な？いろいろあるんすよ。大人の社会には。
Alright. Ding, ding, ding. We have 3 red flags right there. Generalization of the reasoning. Assumption that is over their heads and grown-up stuff. And then the laugh. You freaking sneaky AI. What are you playing? What are you hiding? Yeah. Koiro is totally on the board with me. She's like, what?
とにかく哲学をするっす。これはちゃんと募集要項にも書いてたっすからね。後出しじゃないっすから。ほらここ。
I thought they knew what they were signing then. I'll display the application requirements on the sole dispenser screen. The applicant must submit any test given to them by the company by the deadline provided. If the results of the test warrant a change in their living expenses or the monitoring period itself, the applicant must abide by these changes. Oh no. Oh no, I think I know what this is now. I just realized it finally clicked together. You sons of guns. It's brainwashing. They're testing brainwashing. Because this is a system they could try and implement to motivate everybody in society. So they're choosing a focus group of the people who've been deemed failures of society. They're taking the people who are the most delinquent, you could say, even from just like a governmental like what's it called? like the watchmen or whatever, like from their thing, like the most delinquent of society are the people who just do not fit in. So they're taking a collection group of what's effectively the most degenerate of people, but they're grabbing them when they're young, when they're impressionable. Then they're going to put them in a situation where they're going to just provide everything they could possibly need. The only expense is they have to answer questions, philosophical questions, possibly things like, what do you think the rules of society should be? What do you think of the justice system currently abided in your country? What do you think of punishment currently residing in your country? What do you think of the Chuusotsu system, and should it be changed? And if they answer questions that aren't in alignment with the dogma of the culture, then they'll just see a tick down of their expenses. They'll see a tick down of the comforts, and they could be removed from the program if they're being too vocal or too persuasive to the other people in their group. But if they answer in ways that are compliant with the status quo of the overall arching government, I'm going to count the council of 300 at this point because they're freaking evil, then they get more, they find more comfort, and eventually they can rejoin society with a proper seal. I think that's what this whole system's all about. It's a focus group. Because if it works here with the delinquents, then it can work across the board. They can introduce it as a brand new perfect system where, everyone gets everything you could possibly want. All you have to do is comply with the philosophy of the higher-ups, and everything is happy. And we get rid of all the delinquents, and we remove the scum from the bottom of society. Ooh, that's no bueno. That's like it actually is kind of interesting. This is hitting some very similar bells to the dystopian future depicted in Steins Gate. The idea of the council using science to rule over the entire world and kind of shuffleboard people into cubbies where they're given their roles, they're supposed to stay in their roles. It kind of suppresses the ability for people to dream and to be innovative, and instead just kind of crunches them down into a role where they're just supposed to be happy. It was written in small print right below the more eye-catching requirements.
中卒だけ募集したのはこういうことだったんですね。シールがなければ細かい文面が読めないと思って。
No, I don't think that's it.
とにかく契約した以上は規約を守らなきゃダメっす。当社の出した命題を哲学すること。これが当社新製品へのモニターの内容っす。
Obviously, I could be wrong. The fact that she's talking about a company more often now is making me think that this could be a bit more, maybe could be different, but I think I'm kind of hitting the right notes here.
モニターについては分かったよ。
Good.
それで、その命題って何かな？
Yeah.
素晴らしい人生とは？
Interesting.
何ですか？その自己啓発セミナーみたいな漠然としたテーマは。
I don't know, Aure. It could be an interesting question to answer.
哲学っていうのはそういうものっす。
Well, at the same time, though, philosophy, when asking these types of questions, can lead us in very interesting directions. So philosophy is actually very good for society.
注意してほしいのは、ただ答えを入力するだけじゃダメっす。
Do we have to live our answers?
ルームメイツの心を一つに重ねなきゃダメっすからね。
Interesting.
心が重なってるかどうかをソウルディスペンサーが判定するの？
そうっす。シンクロ率が低いとエラーを吐き出すわけっす。期限は1週間。今日4月15日の12時から21日の23時59分まで。
So we have a week to figure out what makes a happy life?
期限までに課題がクリアできなかった、もしくは挑戦すらしなかった場合は即刻退去になるのであしからず。
Yeah, only looming homelessness on your heads. Yeah.
そいじゃ、再戦。
Aure started feeling faint from the feet up.
退去ってそんな、ちょっと待ってください。
取りだめたドラマを見なきゃす。
You say your own echo. She disappeared. Well, yeah, this could be interesting. We have a week to figure out what makes life worth living, huh?
そんな。
That's okay, you guys can do it. They probably wouldn't give you an impossible task. They wouldn't go to all this trouble if they actually thought it was impossible.
せっかく一大決心して家を出たのに、 家に帰るわけにはいかないのに。
Koiro placed a hand on Aure's shoulder.
とにかくやってみようよ。でも哲学なんて。
She had no clue about it. She didn't think it was something that a Chuusotsu should be dealing with either. She's kind of caught in this mindset that a Chuusotsu just is incapable. That because she's a Chuusotsu, she is incapable of doing things. Which, it's just sad, because, like, remember, she kind of represents what normal people are like, where she's not having enhancements done to her body by the nanobots. And so, the society's kind of taught her that being a normal, unenhanced person means you literally are just unable to accomplish things.
初めから諦めるなんて良くないよ、アルエ。
Aww. I like Koiro.
何かの目的があってここに来たのなら。ジェスカさん。
Aure felt Koiro's kindness permeate her entire body. Despite the fact they just met, and that she'd already abandoned Koiro once.
ひとまず部屋に行こう。引っ越しの荷ほどきもしたいし。
Yeah, I like our little white rabbit here is gonna be like the best person in the crew.
そうですね。そうしましょう。
But I'm guessing there's gonna be some kind of twist. Like she's gonna open her luggage, it's gonna be full of knives or something. Alright. Oh, that's a cute room. She plopped into the bare cushion on her bed. Aure had a fairly well-situated place to call her own within the 3-room apartment. Oh, that's nice. I had to share a room in college. There was a 3-bedroom apartment in college, and we each had to share. Her room's like the size of my room was in there, but there were 2 beds. The place had a double window that faced south and came prepared with a blackout curtain. Oh, I'm like super jealous, actually. This is really nice. The snow white wallpaper didn't have so much as a single wrinkle in it, and the flooring was completely free of scratches. Well, hopefully you can put up something, because bare white walls does make it feel a bit like an asylum. If she weren't feeling so down, Aure would have been dancing around in here. Oh, come on! You don't even know how hard it's gonna be. You gotta try.
哲学者ってどんな人でどんな考えを持っててどんな言葉を話したのかな。
Go to the library.
全然わかんないや。
The best part about philosophers is just simply people who ask questions. And yes, a lot of them are probably on the smarter side, but that's just effectively, if you're going to measure smartness in that regard, it simply is the idea that people are willing to ask questions and to seek logical answers. I think a lot of times we're in a society where a lot of us want to ask questions, but not a lot of us want to follow through on doing like research and checking and talking with other people and confirming our results and like debating without fighting. That's the worst thing, I think. The worst thing about modern philosophy is that it's kind of dying because it's being strangled out by high engaging emotional opinion. There's nothing wrong with having strong emotions about your opinion, but when you use it to throttle out anything that you don't like and not even give it a pause or even consider something different, you're doing a disservice to everyone else. And the problem is that because media is fueled by clicks, media is encouraging it because you're a lot more likely to click on a heading that's either like very strongly says what you agree with, or it's very strongly against what you are. And like it's just a domino effect. We've been seeing it for 10 years now, and it's just culminating harder and harder and harder. And it's embarrassing, if I'm honest. Like I don't like getting political because it's stupid, and I don't want to be political more than basic like generalizations and such. But can I be honest here? If you're watching this and you're not an American, like it's freaking embarrassing what's going on right now. And there's so many other things we need to be worried about. The whole Venezuela stuff's going crazy, and like I'm so interested in that. And yeah, I look at my news stations and it just talks about the slap fights going on in our government. This is stupid, and people are like have been going over a month without any pay because of this stupid stuff, and I don't know. It's just frustrating because I want to be proud of where I come from. I want to be proud of the history, and I am proud of like my parents and like the generations that came before and the things that we've been able to do. I mean, no history is perfect, obviously, but I'm still genuinely proud of the history, especially like those who made sacrifices to get this whole thing started as a nation. I mean, it was kind of a great experiment. We were one of the first that really pulled off like exactly what we were trying to do, and kind of became a spearhead for the idea in a lot of ways. And then it just feels like the whole system's turned against itself so much, and it's really frustrating because part of me wants to be able to be like, yeah, like I want to step up, I want to do something about this. But the other part of me is just like, I have no interest in that. I've never wanted to do that kind of stuff, and I don't know if I have great ideas. I just wish people could like learn and listen to each other. If I could pick someone who could actually be in charge of the country, I'd want to pick somebody who didn't know what they were doing, knew they didn't know what they were doing, and was willing to admit when they didn't know, but also understood about surrounding themselves with honest, hardworking people who specialize in various fields. That way, when the issues come up, they can converse, they can discuss, philosophize, and then deliberate and act. It's so frustrating because it feels like we just started picking leaders sometime. We started picking leaders just based on what they would tell us and not even close to what they actually would do. And it's like, I don't feel like there's anybody in any level of governments, even overseas, it doesn't seem like it's this way. Like, it feels like nobody in government actually represents people. They just kind of say they parrot back what people want to hear, and then people go for it. I really had a strong resonation, if you can't tell, with Persona 5. The message in Persona 5 is actually spot on, and it freaked me out because it was so freaking true. And I keep rambling this episode, I'm really sorry, but it's embarrassing, and it's frustrating, and it's something I wish I could fix, but I don't know if I have the aptitude to fix it. And so, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something about it, but and I'll do the best I can while I can, but I just don't know. Part of me's kind of lost hope already, and that scares me too. I don't want a society like this one. I don't want a society where everyone's told what to do and how we just kind of seek the path of least resistance. And I also don't want chaos. I don't want, like, disorder, dictatorships, overpower, like authoritarianism. Is that how you say authoritarianism? I don't know. It's funny because I can complain all I want, but good luck in getting me to have any answers for anything. I just think a leader needs to be somebody who's willing to take upon themselves the responsibilities of those around them and the people that they're like have like oversight over, and do so responsibly by looking at science, by talking to people who are experts in fields, by being willing to compromise and being willing to listen to opposing viewpoints and understanding that there's validity in viewpoints that you don't agree with. I don't know. Man, I think I get so deep in this one. It's all the talk of philosophy. It's got me rolling. So, Aure, you're as great as philosopher as you could ever expect. Like, you'd be surprised at how much insight you can know. That's the irony, isn't it? They were. All the philosophers up till now were Chuusotsu. She rubbed her right hand. No matter how hard she rubbed, there was nothing there. Her authority seal had been what kept her even more remotely human, but when she graduated and failed her compatibility exam, when she lost her exterior shell as an honor student, the seal too came peeling off. I don't know. She felt weak. I feel like that too. I got my own problems, man. I got so many things that are going on right now. Like some pinball machine, the inside of her head was battered by the desire to flee. She wanted to leave. She clutched onto the cushion and started flailing her legs in the air. Anxiety began to well within her heart. Aure shook her head before she could finish the sentence. And apparently I have something in my inventory. Thanks for letting me know, Steam. Why? Is that from this game? That would make sense. Go away! Thank you. Jeez. Come on, you can do it, girl. You've got something to fight for. That's good. Aure swore that she wouldn't spoil herself any further. She would study hard, build up her strength, and pass the re-examination.
なんて持ってんのか?
In order to put an end to her doubts, Aure began searching around her bag. She found her lunch she was going to eat on the rooftop before getting interrupted by that psycho. She opened the lid. As she did, she dropped her chopsticks. They rolled down below her bed. Aure promptly went to her knees and peeked under the bed. Oh, fetch! And then her eyes met with the psycho. Well, you know what's funny? I as soon as I started making a big deal about her going into the bed, I was like, well, something's going to be underneath here. I thought it was going to be a stray cat. No, it's going to be a psychopath. Oh, no. Koiro, save us! Adora's piercing scream penetrated the walls, reaching Koiro's ears. Oh, no.
何を驚くことがあるです？どう？言ったはず。あららと同胞はずーっと一緒。
I knew this was gonna happen, but still. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Aure. It's nice knowing you.
ダメ。こんなところで気絶しちゃう。
What do you think she's going to do to you?
でも体が動かなく、声も。
Koiro burst into the room.
あれ？どうしたの？
Oh, Aure, her mouth flapping like that of a goldfish, pointed at the bed with a frantic expression. Koiro took a peek under the bed. Greetings. She fainted. Oh, fetch!
ジェスカさん。ある？あの都市伝説は現実だったみたい。
Don't die on us, Koiro.
感心してる場合じゃないですって。何？まさか粘液とか入ってくるんじゃ。
No, I'm guessing she might be stuck. Why would your back hurt for being under the bed? Lying straight hurts your back?
自分もダメージ受けてる？
狭すぎ。助けて。
Aww. Okay, now I feel good about it. Come on. Let's let her out.
伸ばして。引っ張るから。助けるの
？With Koiro's help, Aure managed to crawl out from underneath the bed like the villainess of some Japanese horror movie.
Yeah, 怖い怖い。
I imagine just like the whole like almost like the grudge thing that. Let's make a gif out of that one. Oh man.
アルエは妖怪の知り合いがいるんだね。いえ、ハチスカさん、この人一応人間です。そうなの？
I know, right? It's confusing to me too. Lagging a step behind, she cocked her head in confusion.
っていうか。
Aure pointed a finger straight at Aure.
あなた、屋上のサイコさんですよね。
サイコじゃなくて、あららです。
Arara. I mean, because the R's are interesting in Japanese, right? It's like Arara. Like, it's kind of like an R and a D put together.
名前なんてどうでもいいんです。あなた、私をストークしましたね。ストークっていうのは、ストーキングの家来みたいなもの？
I'm guessing.
ストーキングは王様なの？
Interesting.
なんなんですかもう、なんですかもう。
Yeah, I'm confused too. Aure's mind had pretty much reached maximum frustration for real.
とにかくサイコさん、これって立派な犯罪なんですよ。わざわざベッドの下なんかに潜り込んだりして、何ですか？私が寝静まるのを待って何をしようとしてたんですか？
Fair question.
何って万が一でも敵側の洗脳を受けてないかのチェックを隅から隅まで。
Ooh! Aure let out an ear-piercing scream.
そんなことするつもりだったんですか？
That's terrible.
嘘です。
I'm sure you were.
嘘なの？
本当はベッド下で同胞が同室になるのを待っていただけです。
同室？ちょっと待って。 気持ち悪い発言の中に同質って聞こえたような。
Oh, yes, you did.
それってまるでこれから寝食を共にするような言い方だよね。きっと何かの間違い。そうよね、アルエ。あなたよくリアルから逃避したりするものね。また得意の現実離れよ。
せっかく今日から一つ屋根の下で暮らすのだから、同胞とアララが同室になるのは。
You don't need to share a room. You have your own. Please go away.
こっちがリアル？ルームメイトなの？
藤崎アララ、よろしく。
Yeah.
私はハチスカコイロ。
Gotta go. Handshake.
よろしくしないでくださいよ。
もういけずなんだから。
ヨタカのようにしなだれないで。
Aw, it's kind of cute actually now. I'm sure it'll get creepy again soon
最
though.
初に屋上で会った時点で嫌な予感がしてたんだ。
これからはここをベースにし、有害漁師による税での侵食を監視して。
Oh man.
サイコさんだ。
I don't know, I started chanting otaku magic.
同胞との生活考えただけで。
Ooh.
レジストされた。二人は前からの知り合いなの？違いますから。それじゃあ馬が合うんだね。二人とも楽しそう。
Koiro, you're not helping.
どう見たらその感想が出てくるんですか？
小色さんに言われるまでもなく、アララと同胞は魂レベルでつながっている。同胞？
Oh, that was a bit charming. There was only 1 week left until the deadline. Could these 3 seemingly incompatible Chuusotsu complete their philosophical assignment in time? I hope so. They got a good shot. This is a philosophical story of how 3 good-for-nothing Chuusotsu girls spent a particular part of their youth. In a world where the authorized power certificate decides everything from jobs through abilities to personal income. ... Chuusotsu starts. Oh, it's cool, the intro. Studio Beast, thank you so much. So far it's been fun. And published by Fruit Bat Factory. Well, dang. That was like super high production, honestly. And Proposition 2 Rooftop. I thought we were still in Proposition 1. Interesting. You know what, though? I think we're going to have to end it here. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today just because... But, I mean, I had a lot of rambling in it. I'm sorry, but there's no more perfect place to end it than there. I guess there's a lot of interesting stuff I saw in that intro. There's a lot of like just attention to detail. I think it's going to be some interesting bonding moments between these three girls. I'm really excited to see that. So, sorry for all the rambling. I'm sorry for all the philosophizing. I just got to thinking and I couldn't stop. And then, I don't know, it just seems like such a perfect time for it to end here. So I guess we'll start with the beginning of that next section. Just because it was all pretty much straightforward there. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often where I actually have a shorter episode, but actually this is about as long as I used to make videos. Like if you go back to some of my earlier stuff, like if you go to Bubble of Extra, for instance, I think all those episodes, like at first, were like 30 to 40 minutes long. Oh man, how things have stretched out since then. But let's see. I guess, I feel like, I got to be really honest during this episode. I like that. So if this game can continue to bring out stuff like that out of me, like this is gonna be a good one. A lot of games like don't really pull so much like when it comes to like real life stuff too much. I don't know. Actually, I say that, but then again, I think everything I've played has done that at some level or another. But I didn't expect it to be this early. Normally, it's towards like the big emotional, moving sections when I really go on a rant and like talk about stuff. But I think this time it really got to me as it was making me contemplate stuff, and I don't know, it kind of speaks to me because some of the stuff that they're talking about in here, like I do worry sometimes that we might go down this route of society. I mean, in some ways it could be better than like some kind of like freaky World War III type issue. Maybe it'd be preferable to that, but at the same time, like living in a world where like dreams are kind of not even really a thing anymore. You just kind of do what you're supposed to do. It just seems so sad. It feels like we wouldn't progress nearly as much. It would get rid of some of the bad things, but obviously poverty's still an issue and everything, so I don't know if it really fixed anything. I think it might be kind of what it's showcasing here. And remember, once again, this is about the whole genre of this game is philosophy. Like, we're going to be examining like the ethics and philosophy of like the culture that we're watching. We're also going to be talking about like our own culture and ethics and philosophy too. Like, this is going to be obviously an idea to kind of like take serious and interesting philosophical topics, but mixing them in with like dorky humor. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this series already. So, you know, I guess let's just take a break, kind of think about things, and then next time, if I don't sneeze right here, next time we can, you know, really discuss things more in depth later, too. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts about what I said, too. I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about some of these topics, but I genuinely would love to hear your feedback on them, because we kind of got a really real there, didn't we? I really did. So, if you have any insights or anything you thought of at the time, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And that's really what it's all about, right? Like, sharing ideas and experiences through visual novels. Once again, I think they're some of the best storytelling methods out here. It captured my heart every time. They really transport me to a world, combining like visuals with an engaging narrative. I love the idea of having the branching like choices sometimes that happen in them too, but you don't have to have that to have an incredible story. And visual novels have a leg up on actual novels because you get to have such a high interaction, and you like use visuals to kind of take pressure off of the writer's need to describe every little detail. But at the same time, it's so much more enhancement than the typical video game because you really get to get involved and get to pause and get to sit and just kind of like talk about it a little bit. I hope more people learn to play visual novels. If I could do anything, I think I'd love to be able to introduce people who've never even come across the genre before to it. And that's what it's so good, because I've done that a couple times, but it's not a ton. But anyway, enough yakking at you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me for Chuusotsu, like learning about a bit more of the system and how this is all going to work. I'm excited to see the direction this goes and to see some of the challenges these three get to face and how they overcome them. I hope they overcome them. But it'd be a short game if they failed the first week, so I'm going to guess that we're probably going to see some kind of resolution. And it'll be fine. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for participating. I hope you took a chance to take a part in that survey. It really helped me a lot just to kind of hear what some of you think. And then I'll hopefully be able to announce some of the art in the near future. As I'm probably not going to announce it too soon, though, because I really want to nail down like the contract and, you know, make sure that we've got everything in production. not just like the ideas. The idea stage is here. If you want to just see the ideas, not even take the survey, if you click the survey, you can still see what I'm thinking. And we'll go with what I feel like is best. I'm using your input to help me help influence the idea of what I think is best. But ultimately, I'm just going to decide based on what I think is best for the channel, for myself, and for you guys. I just hope you enjoy it. You guys, if you're here, I hope that means that I'm doing things you enjoy, so I hope it can continue to do that for you. So thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing your comments. I'm so grateful that you spend your time here because you guys really are as much a part of this channel as I am. And until the next video you watch with me, remember to see me in next. I'll see you there.